Hello there and welcome to the Drowsy Dragon. Today we're going to look at 20 very easy mounts that you can get your hands on in Midnight as soon as it releases. So let's dive straight in. Now, a new expansion means new or revamped lands to explore, and while we're doing that, we're going to be flying around and collecting the skywriting glyphs in each of the new zones. Once we've collected them all, we will get the Crimson Dragonhawk mount. The easiest way to do this by far is to get the add-on Handy Notes and download the Midnight Treasures and Rares extension for it, to put them all on your map. But don't worry, if you don't want to use add-ons, you can find these pretty easily yourself by just simply exploring, and you will get a notification in your chat that you sent a skywriting glyph nearby. We will of course have plenty of new quests to complete in Midnight as well. Once you have completed the introductory quests to Midnight and the city is fully unlocked to you, then you can choose which zone you would like to quest in. If you pick Arator's questline from that and follow the chain most of the way through, you'll eventually get given the Relinquished Scarlet Charger mount for your efforts, which is a very nice sparkly horse mount, and of course this one does not fly. So we've also got some new factions to earn reputation with, working on the same systems that we're used to lately with renown levels, rather than the traditional reputation ranks. Each faction has some mounts for rewards deep into its renown track. Everything you do in Midnight, whether it's doing the main story and side quests, looting treasures and killing rares, completing delves, weekly quests and more, will reward you with a steady supply of reputation with these new factions. So as long as you play in the game, you'll eventually unlock these rewards without need to specifically farm anything. So kicking off with Silvermoon Court, the renowned Quartermaster is Caeris Fairdawn, located at Southorl's Haven here on the map. Getting Renown 17 with Silvermoon Court, you can buy the Crimson Silvermoon Hawkstrider for 6,000 Voidlight Mal, which is basically Midnight's version of Resonance Crystals, so you'll be collecting lots of these from your various activities. When you get to 19 Renown, you can then buy the Fiery Dragonhawk for 8,000 Voidlight Mal. In the Zoloman zone, we have the Amani tribe, and their quartermaster is Magovu, located here in Armanizar village. At 17 Renown, she will sell you the Amani Blessed Bear, and then getting to Renown 19 will allow you to buy the Amani Windcaller Flying Mount. Moving over to Harandar, deep down under the earth, we've got the home of the Hara'ti. We've got the faction here, the Hara'ti, and the quartermaster for this faction is Naynar. You can find her here stood outside the Den, which is the main city in Harandar, at this location on the map. Following in a similar fashion, at Renown level 17 you get a ground mount, which is the Fierce Grimlynx, and at Renown level 19 you unlock the Cerulean Sporeglider for purchase. Taking a darker turn now into the Void, we have the Singularity, the faction taking the fight to Xal'atath's doorstep in the Voidstorm. You can find these guys at the Howling Ridge, and their renowned quartermaster is Void Researcher Anomander, located here. Now this is the same as the other reps. The ground mount is the Ravenous Shredclaw at 17 renown, and the flying mount is the Void-bound Stormray at 19 renown. Now I couldn't actually preview these in game on the beta for some reason, so we just got the images for those. Delves are of course returning in Midnight, and we have another Delver's Journey track to make progress on as soon as we start tackling Delves. There are 2 mounts that you can earn easily, so rank 5 of the Delver's Journey gets you access to the Silvermoon's Arcane Defender mount, sold by Telemancer Astrandis at the Delver's headquarters here in Silvermoon. There is a second ground mount sold by a familiar NPC, Naladeo Rivergleam, also at the Delver's HQ for 10,000 Undercoin. Now this is the Silvermoon's Arcane Defender. It's pretty steep, costing all that Undercoin, but you will get this quite steadily if you regularly complete delves. Remember that there will also be a weekly quest for delves that should give you 1,500 of these to help you along. Remember that Undercoin will reset when Midnight starts, so you will have to start earning this again. You cannot carry it forward from the War Within. So in Midnight, we've also got Prey, which is a new system coming in the expansion, which we can begin as soon as we get to Silvermoon City after completing the introduction. I did do a separate video recently going through how all of that works, so for that full guide, please check out this video linked in the description. Similarly to Delves, we also have a seasonal journey to progress, the Prey Seeker's Journey. Now, when you advance this to level 5, you'll be able to buy the Prey Seeker's Hubris from the vendor Construct Venore. Going even further, you can upgrade this little guy to a fancier armoured version at level 10 on your Prey Seeker's Journey by purchasing the Prey Seeker's Wrath from the same vendor. You buy both of these mounts using the currency Remnants of Anguish, which you will get lots of by simply completing prey hunts. So nothing specific to farm other than just doing the hunts themselves. Another new thing with Midnight is the allied race, the Hara'ti. So if you're going to play one of these or not, this is relevant as you do get a mount for unlocking this allied race, which you can use on other characters, just as we did with the Earthen back in the War Within. So to unlock the Hara'ti, all you need to do is complete the campaign quests in Harandar, which you will be doing anyway as part of the leveling up process. So this mount is basically free providing you do the campaign. These next mounts come from treasures. Now, they're not all simply lootable from a singular treasure. There's usually something you got to do in order to get the treasure to open. Let's start with the Insatiable Shredclaw. For this one, all you need to do is go to the Voidstorm zone, to this location here, and you've got this little game to navigate to get to the end. If you'd rather figure this out yourself, just skip to the next bit if you want some fun, but if you want my tips, here they are. So what you need to do is navigate to the end of this little maze here by not getting hit by the lightning, and then you can loot the treasure, the final clutch of Predaxas, and get yourself this mount. What I recommend here is, because you can't use any abilities and have to just walk at normal speed, take this in about 3 steps. You'll notice that there are some safe spots through this puzzle, so when you get in, take note of where those safe spots are, aim for the closest one, get there, pause, and then go the next time when it's clear, get to the next safe spot, and then go again, and you should be able to get to the end. If you try and run all in one go, it will catch you, as it comes back pretty fast. So another simple treasure mount to get is the Ancestral War Bear. Now this is located in Aman. There's this treasure, the Honoured Warrior's Cache, down here on the map, hidden underneath this tree. So you need to interact with 4 urns around the zone, and then kill the ghostly warriors that appear to basically earn their blessing and get their token. You can see on the map here where the locations are. Now it's spread out across the zone. Now this will also appear if you had that Midnight Treasures and Rares plugin for handy notes that I mentioned earlier. So go and click these urns, kill the champions. When you've done all 4, go back to the treasure and loot that to get the mount. Next we've got the Untainted Grove Crawler. This one is located in Harandar, in this area. So you can go to this area here and click on the Fungal Mallet. This will give you a buff for 5 minutes, allowing you to interact with the Gong. If you go to this location, you'll see the Mycellium Gong. It's really close, so there's not a long distance to travel. And then all you got to do is bang the gong and you'll spawn the spore spawned cache, which will contain your new mount. And the final mount to mention from treasures in this video of easy mounts to obtain is the Ruddy Sporeglider. So this one's also located in Harandar, pretty close to the previous one we mentioned. This treasure is where the mount is located here, the Peculiar Cauldron. However, you can see it does require 150 crystallized resin fragments in order to open it. So what you need to do is search around this area near Teldrassil's roots in Harandar. You're looking for these small, sort of dirt pile, orange glowy orb type things, which you tend to find in and underneath the water's surface. Every time you loot one of these, you'll get between 2 and 7 crystallized resin fragments. Now these do seem to hyperspawn if there are a few people looting them. When this makes it to live, that may slow down a bit, but if not, then great. This will be super easy to farm and competition won't be a problem. So just keep on looting those fragments. When you got 150 total, go back here, open the treasure and enjoy your new mount. Now the area that these will spawn in is basically this straight stretch of water here on the map. If you go from the treasure and head down towards the den, they'll be all along that area there. If you get to the den, then you've gone a bit too far. I did not find any around that area on the map. So stick to this straight stretch of water. They are mostly in the water, so some of them might be a bit difficult to see. These do sometimes go right down to the bottom. And do check the waterfalls as well. Just not the massive one at the top of the zone, because if you go into the huge waterfall, again, you've gone a bit too far. This shouldn't take too long to farm. Within about 2 minutes of doing this, I had over 30 of the fragments, so keep going and you'll get yourself the mount. For number 20 on this list, I'm bundling together a few mounts, as we potentially got a few more new mounts coming on the trading post. We are unsure when, of course, or if they will actually make it to the trading post, but I'm sure they will. If they do, these are arguably some of the easiest mounts to get in the game, as all you need to do is buy them off the traders post with traders tender. So keep an eye out for these mounts. We've got some flying carpets of red, green, purple and blue colouring. We've also then got these snap vines, which is seemingly a reskin of the wriggling parasite worm mounts that we started seeing back in Battle for Azeroth, this time with a Harandar nature vine sort of aesthetic. They remind me of these snappy guys off Mario with their head and teeth. Then we've got these snail mounts, the pseudo shells, in orange, green, yellow and violet colours. It would be pretty hilarious if these guys actually had a run speed of about 2%, but I'm sure they'll be as speedy as any of the other mounts. So there we have it guys, those are 20 super easy mounts you can get yourself in Midnight with relatively little work. If you did enjoy this video, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel for more guides and videos all about World of Warcraft here at the Drowsy Dragon. We'll be covering some of the more difficult to obtain mounts coming in Midnight in a later video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel even further, do check us out on Patreon or consider becoming a channel member here on YouTube. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!